Romans 3:20 says, "For by works of the law, no human being will be justified in his sight, since through the law comes the knowledge of sin." Galatians 2:16 tells us that, "Yet we know that a person is not justified by works of the law, but through faith in Jesus Christ. So we also have believed in Christ Jesus in order to be justified by faith in Christ and not by works of the law, because by works of the law, no one will be justified." This is so vitally important to get right. So when Paul says that if anyone comes preaching a gospel contrary to the one that we've given you, right, let them be accursed. Let them be anathema. Because this justification, getting this down, being able to distinguish between the law and the gospel. The gospel is the power of God unto salvation. Christ came, lived a perfect sinless life. He willfully went to the cross and laid down his life, died on the cross, was buried, and 3 days later rose from the dead. This gospel, this good news, is what saves. Paul says it is the power of God unto salvation, and he's not ashamed of it. And then he goes on to declare that we are justified. That those who have believed this gospel message, they believed in Christ, they're justified by faith, not by works of the law. And it can be difficult sometimes, honestly, when I've had conversations with people and they'll tell me like, man, I feel like I'm trying to do this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I just don't know if I'm saved. And I say to them, well, don't look to the fact that you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this. Look to Christ. Look to Christ. Always look to Christ. Now, again, in looking to Christ, the outflowing of that is going to be doing this and this and that. Like we evangelize. Why? Because God compels us. The love of God compels us to want to see other people come to know Jesus Christ. So therefore, we go and we proclaim the gospel to other people. We hand out a gospel tract. We get into gospel conversation. We go on the streets and preach. We go to the college campuses. We do these things because it is the love of God that compels us to tell others about him, right? But I don't do those things. Mike doesn't do that so that we somehow earn any extra favor or justification before God. No, it's the outworking of what is already there, right? We love him because he first loved us. And so the outworking of that love is then going and doing these things. And Paul says that the law is not burdensome to the believer, right? So when we hear, love your neighbor, it's not a burden to not lie to my neighbor. It's not a burden to not go over there and steal when it's dark and he doesn't know that I'm out there taking something from his yard, right? No, because I love my neighbor, I'm not going to do those things. It doesn't become a burden to me. But I will tell you, for those within the Hebrew roots, those within Roman Catholicism, those within Mormonism, those within Jehovah's Witnesses, it is a burden because you're doing it to earn something and you can't keep up the facade. That is why Paul says, or the apostles say, we can't put a yoke upon these people that even the Jews couldn't keep for themselves.